ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Kelp Kelp. Don't tell me. Here's your host, Mollusk Trebek.
Thank you. All right, Bruce, you've made it to the final round and you've narrowed it down to these two doors. But be careful, there's still a trap hanging out, and the octopus played a shuffle card. Unfortunately, they're about to eat their fourth meal, so you're out of time. Which door do you choose?
Well, Mo, I'm a bit nervous, but my fry at home always say, Papa, go with your gut, so dang it, I'm going for it. Show me what's behind door number 1.
All right, you heard him. Let's see what's behind door number 1. Oh, so sorry. It looks like it is indeed the trap stalling you out so they could dine on their delicious lobster dinner while you succumb to painful starvation in the bleak abyss. Better luck next time, Bruce. And to all those of you at home, thanks for watching another episode of Kelp Kelp. Don't tell me.
I love hidden movement. From my very first times going toe-to-toe with Mr. X to hunting Draculas and catching Jacks to rounding up rogue agents and running amok in fantasy Eastern Europe, it's a genre that has always had a very special and very particular place in my heart, but it's not for everyone. And while Kelp at its core is definitely a game of aquatic hide and seek, the smart introduction of other popular mechanics and the greater emphasis on logistics means that it has a little extra something that makes it worth looking into even for people who aren't fans of the genre.
In this asymmetric game of two-player shark v octopus, each side is trying to get some dinner. It just so happens that one player is said dinner, while they are otherwise trying to eat various crustaceans and scoop. As the octopus, you manipulate the rather gorgeous and weighty tiles facing you in each of the 9 areas on the board, and interact by playing 2 cards per turn in a rudimentary deck-building game where, among other things, you can purchase the 4 unique food cards, which place their tiles on the board and when filtered back to your hand can be played, and you can reveal your position to eat up that food, working your way to victory and getting a special ability associated with that critter. On the other hand, the shark is a systems-heavy hunter, swimming in the borders, outlining zones. They roll and place dice pulled from their bag each turn, the common blue to increase movement, yellow to reveal tiles, and most rare red to make an attack. These are allocated while also managing their growth, energy, and hunger, separate tracks that dice go to depending on how they're used, earning passive abilities, additional dice for the bag, and eventually pushing towards starvation, a one-way clock that leads to hangered defeat.
There's a lot I love about this game, but one of the most suitably dramatic moments is when the shark actually attacks the octopus. I mean, either way, the attack dice that's used is going to be lost to hunger, so there's a not insignificant risk if you don't know exactly where the octopus is. But even still, there's a chance for escape. Each player chooses one of 3 encounter cards from their hand. If the shark plays the right counter to the octopus's attempted maneuver, you win. If not, the octopus escapes, but their chosen card and the shark's counter of the same type are removed from the game, deftly increasing suspense and tension by reducing the ways that you can juke out the shark in each subsequent encounter. Which makes it seem like there's nothing but opportunity for Mr. Tentacruel. But in my other favorite thing about the game, many of the octopus's cards have a cost to them, which involve laying down tiles, revealing them. Because, maybe they're like mana crystals or something? Yeah, I don't know. Ignore the narrative implications for a sec. The important thing is that information and your very hiding spots are the resource that you spend. It's fascinating and makes a delicate dance of revealing, hiding, swapping, shuffling, all interfaced by a meager 2 actions a turn, which is increasingly more desperate because you don't automatically draw into cards. It's a freaking action to refill your hand. The game is astonishingly good at always making it feel like the seaweed is greener in the other player's lake.
Kelp is one of those games where the systems themselves are individually simple, but in concert have reverberations throughout the whole experience. Implications of cost, decisions, and timing within the narrow structure of 2 actions and usually 2 dice seem like they should be fairly limited, but with experience you realize how tightly woven they are. It makes for a great foundation to revisit with a dedicated partner, though in my experience is pretty great with new players as well. The competing systems are certainly a mechanical uplift from the typical hidden movement game, meaning this might bounce off some folks who love the general audience appeal of the genre in the face of its increased complexity, even if a session can be reliably knocked out in under an hour. There's also a probability imbalance baked into the game, where the shark is both subject to rolls and pulls from a frequently renewing bag, contrasting to the octopus's more reliable cycle of cards. On the one fin, the shark doesn't have to work as hard or give up as much to accomplish anything, so dealing with more randomization could be seen as a trade-off. On the other, it can be brutal to draw into the wrong dice or make some bad rolls at key moments. Those smart sharks, smarks, will have worked in ways to mitigate the worst of it through growth and energy.
In a year of really great two-player games, Kelp is one of the best of them, taking what could otherwise be just a dull sesh of Octopod Peekaboo and turning it into a nuanced underwater cat-and-mouse game of sequencing, pressure, and suspense. For fans of the genre like myself, it preserves the most essential aspects. It's dramatic, cunning, and more than a little cheeky. But for people who find the typical hidden movement a little too vacant or too reliant on pure deduction, this is a fantastic alternative. Kelp rules. And that's our review. But let me know, what are your favorite hidden movement games and your favorite two-player games from this bonkers year of great two-player games? Put it in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, thanks for being such a great community. You know that I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald.